Hey folks, welcome back to Naman Reviews for another toy unboxing and review. Today we're going to look at Hot Toys Padme Amidala from Attack of the Clones. I am really looking forward to opening this, but before we go further, may I request that you tap that like button and subscribe button to support my channel. So fans have been asking for a Hot Toys Padme for a long time, and finally we have one. However, the head sculpt hasn't been very convincing in the previews. Looking at this box right now, I'm still not convinced. But then again, Hot Toys does sometimes improve the final sculpt, so I am hopeful. Also, many toys do not photograph very well, so it's a bit of a cliche, but they do look better in hand. So let's take Padme to the light box for a deeper examination.
Here we have the front of the box. That is actually a cover. Very classic black and gray color scheme by Hot Toys for this Star Wars box. In the center, we have a portrait of Padme. She's in white, and I love how it's contrasting with the darker colors. Down below, you have some branding, including 20 years episode 2. Of course, this is celebrating the 20 years since Attack of the Clones. Back of the box is quite simple, has lots of warnings and some branding up top. So let's take the cover off. Removing the box cover reveals a gorgeous window box design. Right in the center, you can see Padme. There are a couple weapons, some hands, and the box design is very nice, celebrating Attack of the Clones after 20 years. Turning to the back, you have a nice portrait of Hot Toys Padme in front of the desert, some branding around the box, and I really like this color scheme. Time to unbox it. Time to get the Padme doll out. Well, I know it's a cliche, but in hand, it looks much better than the pictures because I think they've improved the sculpt. I can't quite put my finger on it, but the paint apps make her look more like Padme than the prototype we saw. Before we go further with this review, let's take a look at the manual. Always a good idea to look in the manual to avoid damaging your toy and to learn how to use the accessories correctly. That's interesting. One side of this manual has a picture of Anakin Skywalker and Padme, played by the real actors Hayden Christensen and, of course, Natalie Portman. Very interesting. So this manual shows you how to rotate the eyeballs. Interesting that they've got this little plug-in over here for the neck and the head. That's very different. And that is bad news for people who buy customs and put them on the Hot Toys body or vice versa, because this looks very proprietary. So we're going to check that out later. Manual also teaches you how to holster the weapon, change the hands, put on the clothing. And that's pretty much it. So let's look at the accessories. So here are all the accessories that you get with Hot Toys Padme. You've got a very nice base. Got 2 droid factory themed pieces for a little diorama. Got this flight pole that clips over here. Got 4 hands, extra wrist pegs, eye manipulating tool, blaster rifle, pistol, and this robe plus headpiece. As usual, good hands by Hot Toys. Very professionally painted. The skin tone looks good. There's no bleeding anywhere. The molds are good too. You can see the knuckles, you can see the fingernails. Nicely manicured hands for Padme. And you've got a couple of fists. And I believe you can use these hands to hold the guns. If you buy Hot Toys, you're familiar with this tool. You can use this to change the eyeballs around on the head sculpt. Nice transparent tool. Normally it's a bit darker than this, but I think they're going with a theme for Attack of the Clones. I also like that the Hot Toys logo is visible right in the center. Looks pretty cool. Here's Padme's blaster rifle. Very good looking mold. Love it. Nice high quality plastic. Some dry brushing just to give it that wear. Anyone who's seen Phantom Menace will be familiar with this chrome pistol Looks gorgeous. Hot Toys has done a really good job. There's also a grain finish on the handle. I really like it. I don't know how long this chrome finish is going to last. Maybe 5 years, 10 years. I really like this robe. I like the texture on it. I like how it's been stitched. And I like the fabric. And I like the coloring too. It does look like something you'd wear in the desert to protect you from the elements. It's a very nice looking base. Good quality as usual by Hot Toys. Feels nice too. Love the paint applications. Matches the droid factory theme. These are the two diorama pieces. Again, nicely painted, good molds on them. You've got some wear from some silver dry brushing. And you can just attach them to the front of the base like this. Very standard clip that fits on the base to help support your toy. But what's different is that this is painted a very shiny chrome color. So that's all the accessories. Overall, I'm very satisfied. I would give them a thumbs up. Though I do wish there were a few more or there was a price cut. And you could say, well, what other accessories could you give Padme? And usually when Hot Toys is thin on accessories, they give a nice backdrop, but there is no backdrop. That's all we have. Let's take a closer look at the Padme head sculpt, the Natalie Portman sculpt. I like the skin tone. I like the eyes look very lifelike. The lips look good. Side profile looks okay. Nice hair coloring. I like this detachable hair bun. So overall, I do think this is a good looking sculpt. I think it is better than what we saw in the previews. It looks better in hand. However, it's not quite perfect, especially when all the lights are hitting every side of the face equally. But when there's a shadow on the side of the face, I think the sculpt looks much better. So let's just get it a bit closer. And I think it looks better when there's less light hitting one side of the face. And that suggests to me that the paint applications on this are going to improve with the next iteration, just like they did with Wonder Woman, just like they did with the Princess Leia sculpt. For example, with Wonder Woman and Princess Leia, they've been releasing pretty much the same sculpts, but with improved paint applications. And I think that's going to happen with Padme as well. Here we have Padme straight out of the box in a museum pose. I love how the soft goods look. I love the consistency in the white coloring. The boots, they are really nicely crafted. They look good. They feel like they're made of the same material as the Obi-Wan Kenobi boots from Attack of the Clones 2. And those boots are doing fine, so I think these boots will be okay, but I am concerned about the pleather belt. I don't think this is going to last more than a few years, but only time will tell. The proportions on this figure could have been a bit better. I feel like the lower half of this body is a little too chunky. Natalie Portman is a petite woman, and these thighs are a little too chunky. And I feel like there's a bit too much cake at the back. It's not exactly how Natalie Portman looks. Let's take a look at the articulation, starting with the head. Head tilts left, tilts right, looks down very nicely, looks up pretty high. Shoulder goes up to an impressive angle. That is really cool. Shoulder moves forward. Moves back pretty good too. Very little hindrance from the clothing. Beautiful double jointed elbow. Nice bicep rotation. Nice hand rotation. Waist tilts left. Tilts right. Let's check out the ab crunch. I can feel a bit of a fat suit here, but that's just to give it form. Good ab crunch. Nice thigh rotation. Legs move freely. Beautiful double jointed knee. leg kicks forward, kicks back, no cut at the ankle, but these boots are very sturdy. She stands quite easily. So I am very impressed with the articulation. I would give it a thumbs up. So let's check out how to manipulate the eyes. Just take off the head. Now, as I mentioned earlier, they've got this little piece in here, which they usually do not have. They have a normal peg, and this is a proprietary peg. And I think this could be bad news for people who like to do customs. So as you can see, there are a couple levers in there for the eyes, and you can use this tool to move the eyes around. And that is really creepy. But yeah, that's how you move the eyes around. I'm going to move them to the side. There you go. She's looking to the side, gives it a bit more character. So let's get the cape on. You simply pop this over the neck. And then you pop the head back on with the hood, of course. So that looks pretty amazing. I'll adjust it a bit more off camera. Kind of looks like a flight attendant from Emirates Airlines.
Let's take a closer look at Padme now under the portrait lens in different poses. Let's take Padme to the toy room now for some more fun poses.
For size comparison, here we have Hot Toys Padme with Hot Toys Dark Side Anakin and Hot Toys Obi-Wan. And I think these are some of the best Hot Toys ever made. Here's another size comparison with Padme's kids, the kids she never met. A New Hope Leia, A New Hope Luke, both by Hot Toys. And you can see that these were one of the first Star Wars figures that Hot Toys did. And Hot Toys has come a long way with the sculpts. For the time, these sculpts were okay, but they look very dated right now. And finally, and I know this is a bit messed up, but here is Padme with baby Luke that we got with Obi-Wan Deluxe. Let's take a closer look at that baby. Oh, baby Luke. So cute. So creepy.
My final score for Hot Toys Padme Amidala is going to be 4 out of 5 stars. Overall, I'm very happy with this purchase. The head sculpt may not be perfect, but it's pretty good in hand. The soft goods on this toy are high quality, and I love the little chrome touches on the accessories. The articulation on this toy is fantastic, and that art box is pretty nice. There are some flaws though. While the head sculpt is indeed good, there is room for improvement. The accessories also feel a bit thin. They could have at least done a nice backdrop, and the proportions of the lower body are a bit off. Still, if you're a fan of this character, you should pick this up. It really displays well with Hot Toys Anakin and Hot Toys Obi-Wan, and it's one of the better Star Wars releases by Hot Toys. That's my review, folks. Thank you so much for tuning into Noman Reviews. Please do tap that like and subscribe button, and tune in again for more reviews.